Hey everybody, so I'm balancing all 8 of these cells. They're 200 amp hours each because I got the BMS today and I want everything to be perfectly balanced and really no deviation between cell groups. I mean, yeah, like it'll be like 4, 4, and 4, so it'll be 3P4S. It's just right now I have to balance it. So I'm using this. This will actually work. That's pretty crazy, right? A 12-volt charger is actually making it to where you can balance it. See, watch, I can even take it over there. 3.547. So once it reaches 3.65, then it should be good to go. So that's pretty crazy though, right? That is really crazy. Like, and I put the clip over here and then the other one over there and that one over there and this one over here, so that way it's, you know, I can get a more accurate reading. I actually got shocked by the rest of my hand. I might have been brushing, I don't know. I know I got this pretty, I know I got a pretty good jolt though, so. Oh yeah, let me zero it out for you and then we'll clamp her on the wire. I'm trying to look at the phone screen while doing it. Yeah, so we got like 42, 43 amps going in. So across 12 of these, 200 amp hour, that's divided, so 200 amp hour divided by, I don't know, I mean, however you got to do the fucking math. So yeah, that's pretty neat, right? That this charger is actually putting out 3 volts. A converter charger is putting out 3 volts. I mean, it could probably do 4 volts, it could do 5 volts, it could do a 6-volt battery. I mean, there's possibilities are endless. I would imagine. You know, I can imagine that. Yeah, I have a 5 amp, up to 5 amp active balancer, which I don't know if it works or not. This thing is, I keep it in the bag so it doesn't short out against anything. I don't know. Off-grid garage says they're kind of okay. I just put the let me see here. So I just put the terminal ends on there. I'm probably gonna wrap that with tape or something so that way they don't really come apart, you know. I gotta be careful when I put them on. And you can't put those leads and these on the same post because it's really not a good idea. So let's say if you take 3 of these, right, and each one is in parallel, right? 3 of these are in parallel. You got a bus bar, and of course you got your bus bar that goes across that. So you want to try to have one balance lead here and one over here, right? Yeah, like one would be over here. So, and then you would want your other balance lead. Well, no, I mean, hang on a second. Yeah, so you would want, so let's say this is positive and this is negative. So you want your negative balance leads to be on here, you know, the power your thing or whatever. Your positive balance lead here and another positive way on there. So you kind of want it to be spread apart so that way it can read the voltages better and balance better too as you use the batteries. So I mean, I can run the water heater with these things, I can run the air conditioner, I mean I can run a lot, but I want them balanced. And they're different ages. I know the number ones with the lower numbers are the newer ones, and then the ones without the numbers, I just got these last from the guy. This is 480 hours worth of battery right here. So yeah, it's a lot of money put into this. And then I spent on this. This is pretty much a Dally, but they don't want it, you know, it's just rebranded. Of course I put this one on there because this is the original one that I've had when I had this before. I had to get it again. So this one, this active smart balancer is dead. I don't know why it died. Stupid piece of junk. You know, so yeah, like I said, this is gonna be getting there pretty quick. Testing it against the thing there. Yeah, like I said, so once it reaches 3.65 or 3, no, I'll say 3.7. That way we can You can bring these up to like 4.2 if you wanted to. You know what I mean? Probably do a really, yeah, I probably should do a super top balance. That's what I probably should do, a super top balance. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's just leave it right there. So 3.4, 3.55. Because it's pretty much reading right from the same, you know what I mean, it's pretty much right there, so that's why it's reading that. I think these are 6 gauge or 8 gauge cable. I mean, they can handle like 75 amps pretty good, so. Right now I'm at my apartment too. I'm using my generator to power all this, and to get the lights on and the inverter, and to get the refrigerator going and the air conditioner going. I had to bypass, because you really have to have battery attached to the inverter. But I ran I ran a really quick power, and then as soon as the inverter came on, I switched the charge thing to 0, and that way it stays on. So, because if you let's say if I set it for number 1, it'll cut out, and then the power will go off in here again. Then I got to do the whole thing back over again. It has to send something. It has to send at least 10.6 volts in order to turn the inverter on. But when you set it for 0, then it stays on. So, yeah. This is how I'm doing it. So, well, like I said, maybe once it reaches 3.7, 3.8, I'll cut it off, and then we'll let it settle for a while, for like maybe a half hour, like this, and hopefully I'll bring it, or maybe I'll bring it to like 4 volts each, right? Like 4 volts. Then that way I'll leave it like this, and it'll balance the and it'll just kind of smoothly balance it all out. I know that you're really supposed to match the cells, you know, the manufacturing date and the internal resistance. You should match all that, but unfortunately I can't do that. I mean, that's how I bought them. I bought the 4 and then the other 4 at the same time, but the guy says the ones were just replaced. So 1 through 4 are the newer ones, I believe. I had to go out these stickers too. I got these little stickers in order to find that out, and I hope I'm right. As you can see, it's like 1923, and then you got 19. Yeah, it's just really weird why they do that. You got 1922, so maybe 1923, 1922. Yeah, so 1923, 1922, 1924, yeah, I don't know, it's just messed up, you know what I mean? It's really frustrating. I have an outlet right here too, 15 amp outlet. It's really 20 amp, but it's on a 15 amp breaker. So I believe you could have the outlet, really should be the same. I mean, you can have a 20 amp outlet on a 15 amp breaker, just can't put a 15 amp outlet on a 20 amp breaker. You know what I mean? You can always, because the breakers are going to be the first things to pop. The trip if there's a short. You don't want anything else to overheat, you know, like the wiring after the breaker. The wiring before the breaker is obviously on a bus bar, but you don't want the wiring after the breaker to heat up. So you want the breaker to trip before that could even happen. It's 12 gauge, it's a piece of 12 gauge that goes there. But like I said, it's a 15 amp breaker that actually powers it. The single 15 amp is strictly for the water heater. So goes in the back there. And then I have the main 30 amp breaker, which goes onto a 10 gauge chopped up piece of like RV cord, and then it goes into the output of the inverter, and then 10 gauge. And I ripped open the RV cable and I grabbed the individual wires, and it goes to the distribution point, which goes to the transformer, and then to the outlet on the back of the van, which is being powered by the generator right now. So Oh, look at that. Now we're getting up there. Good. I mean, I have to supervise this, you know what I mean? I don't really want to be going upstairs right now and just chilling, because then if something were to happen, I'm not here to, you know, cut power or to react fast enough. So that's why I'm doing this now. That's why you need the air conditioner on in the van, because it would get real hot in here otherwise. Even with the door open, it would get hot. I don't want the door open right now with people roaming around and stuff. It's a messed up neighborhood, you know. Yeah, so 3.41. Yeah, like I said, once it reaches like 4 volts or something, then I'm gonna call it good, and I'm gonna let it settle, and I'll turn off I'll unplug the power supply, and I'll turn it, and I'll let it, I'll disconnect these, so that way there's no parasitic load or whatever, and then I'll just let them settle out, and then I'll individually voltmeter each one, and hopefully they'll be all the same exact voltage, or deviated by like maybe a millivolt or 2 millivolts, because this will balance to roughly, I think, like it'll balance down to 2 millivolts, like 0.02 volts it'll balance down to. But I'm gonna have to look at the settings before anything else. I don't want to do anything with this until I look at the settings and screenshot them, and then that way, in case if I decide to change it, I can always look at the screenshots and then go back and then change the settings, because you can't save them. It doesn't let you do that. It's stupid. But yeah, this is what you call a top balance. So like I said, when I get to 4 volts, it's it's a top balance, you know, and that's what I want. I want them to be really top balanced out, because I plan on keeping them as charged as possible. So, and I don't want each cell, each series to like deviate too much. I might use these bus bars too. They're pretty thin though. I can actually use 2 of them, and I can get away with pulling like 140 amps with just two stacked on top of each other. So I wish I had more of these, because these came as 5 each. There's like 5 in each bundle, and it was 6 of them. And look at that, it covers all. I got 2. I mean, I could probably use singles and still get a whole bunch out of it. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But then again, I probably should take those and wash them real good with soap and water. Just get them nice and clean. Get all the possible grease off of it and whatever. And then wash these terminals off really good too with soap and water, because I don't have alcohol right now or anything like that. And then hopefully that'll be hopefully the resistance between the bus bar and the actual terminal will be down to a minimum. But I prefer to have these close to each other, so that's why I would rather use these. I mean, I don't really use that many amps, maybe 100 at the most, but that's rare. Like if I'm using a coffee maker, I'll draw like maybe actually with the microwave going, it'll draw about 105 total, and that's with the lights on and the TV and the refrigerator going, so that's not too bad. But like I said, you really don't want to pull too much to a single bus bar, because it's going to act like a fuse otherwise. So you want to stack them. You know what I mean? You want to stack these as best as you can. So I prefer to do it that way. But there's going to be, I may be able to do that. I don't know. I'll have to see. I think it's 2, 2, 2, 2. It's got to cover 6 batteries though. It's got to cover 3, and then another 3. It's gonna be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. What? No. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have my arm against that because I'm touching this. What if there's like a weird current going on, right? 2. Okay, so let's see here. We got 3, 2, 4. Okay. I'm only going to need 2, 4. I might be able to do it. I might be able to do that. I don't know. I have these ones too, though. I have got these ones right here too. I have to drill out the holes bigger though, but I don't know. Pretty solid though. Yeah, I'll have to see how that goes. I mean, if it goes well, then, you know, great, right? If it doesn't, then, you know, it is what it is, right? Yeah, 3.58. Almost up there, though. I don't think I really need to know the millivolt difference, do I? So, yeah. All right, I'm gonna get out this thing because I need to just sit down for a while in the driver's seat here and drink something. I'm thirsty. So, all right, I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.